Check it out. See what we're doing here is this is called weeding. We're weeding a design. So what we did is we cut this design in a vinyl cutter, right? Which is very, let me show you right here. Give you a look. She's in the back. This machine is covered up right now. The cover top is on it. But I'm gonna show you the machine when it's uncovered and when it's in full function mode. But we're weeding the designs. We're making some designs. What I've been doing over this winter is I've been in this lab non-stop supplying a consumer base that exists mostly online, because the videos that I do, everything that I'm wearing and all of the videos that I've done 600 plus. We might be running up to 7 at this point. And every video I'm wearing something of my own. I started doing this in like 2014, I would say. I came back on YouTube in 2014, and everything from that point has been the products, the wardrobe, emphasis on war, but the wardrobe has always been black designed, black owned, you know what I mean? Coming from the creativity of not just me, but other designers, because I do represent other designers. I'm not in competition with Near Soul. I'm here to inspire, because I've been, you know what I mean? Like I got inspired. So it would be backwards of me to not return a favor. You dig? So yeah, that's what we're doing right now. We're just knocking out some designs so we could get these things put up on Instagram and throw this on my website as new designs. Take some photos, promote it, right? Because you have platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, through Facebook advertising, but mostly through Instagram. You know, it's definitely a disruptor, and it's laying out, it's helping the little man, quote unquote little guy, the small business. It's allowing it to compete with big businesses via social media and things of that nature. So that's what is known as revolutionary, because the possibilities that exist within things like that is endless. You know what I'm saying? All of the stories that are going to be written, they're being written right now. Like, you know, nothing is in stone at this point, but we do live inside of a boom period. Click and order versus brick and mortar. So recurring economics, meaning that, you know, instead of going out doing a 9-to-5 where you got to work for your check, you are plugged into the new economy, the online economy, e-commerce, click and order. You wake up to money. It changes the dynamic on how you even, you know, how money works for you if you can wake up to money versus putting in sweat equity and physical labor and things of that nature, exhausting yourself, blood, sweat, and tears, utilizing your intellectual prowessness or your intellectual property to work for a corporation outside of yourself. Now we live in the age of the entrepreneur. You know, people are staying, you at stay-at-home moms, they're booming. You know, you got people that are just using their cars and whatnot, and they're monetizing the fact that they have a car, and they're doing ride sharing like Uber. You know, the game is wide open. You know, the game is wide open, and corporations are basically scared to death because they don't want the workers to know things like that, because that would cause a revolution of the workforce. It would shake it up, but the workforce is being disrupted as we speak, and they can't hide it for long. You know. So that's what we have here. So I highly encourage anyone who's out there that's talented and skilled, especially if you spent money to learn certain things in education where you got to pay them back, you should be tapping into an income stream that you control, and then the destiny of it is being controlled by you. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta wait for somebody to tell you when you can eat, and there's a day of the week when you get paid every 2 weeks, and other than that, you're not getting no kind of income flowing into your bank account, or flowing into your pocket or your purse or your wallet. Hell no. 24 hours a day is when money is being made now. I know people who run their businesses 24 hours a day, meaning that they work for 12 hours and then they hire somebody across the sea who when they go to sleep, their sun is rising, so they just transfer the duties to these people. So 12 hours of work is being done as you sleep, and then when you wake up, there's more money in the account. Tasks are completed, things are being done, because you have either you have a VA, a virtual assistant, or you have somebody else who understands whatever your business is. They're qualified, meaning that you've already assessed their talents. You dig what I'm saying? And they've shown that they're worthy of it. So you got people working for you while you sleep. So yeah, that's what's going on these days. We're just here tapping in. That was a life changer, That was a life changer because prior to that, I didn't really have a purpose, you know what I'm saying? I was here, I was existing, but I didn't have too much to live for. You know what I'm saying? I was getting a lot of the things that I was yearning in life, and then I was searching for more meaning to a lot of things. What else is there? I'm exhausting myself from, having fun and these experiences. So what else is going on? And nobody can really tell you. It's parenthood is it's some shit that you're gonna experience personally yourself. So when it happened, it just was I was 33 when I had my son, my first. So it was just it was what I was missing. Everything that I was looking for, And then when my daughter came, that was a whole nother thing. You know what I'm saying? And that was just inspiration. You know what I mean? Just to go hard. 5, going on 15. I'm left-handed.
I just figured that out now.
Yeah, I'm not sure what people know and what they don't know. I'm very transparent when it comes to the way that I socialize online and stuff like that. People who've been following us for more than 10 years, because we've been broadcasting for more than a decade. We've been on top of a lot of technology. When the flip cam came out, we had that. We was making videos. We were some of the first platforms on YouTube. I started my channel in 2008, We've been on Blog Talk, which was the precursor to this whole podcasting wave that you see taking over. And, you know, we've been letting people into our personal lives over time. You know, the triumphs, the challenges, even the failing forwards. You know what I'm saying? So people know my son and my daughter from just, you know, just that whole online interactivity, but even in real life, because it's not just about the internet. Like, one of the great things about what we do is we're not just online. There's some people that only exist through that medium. We're real life. Like, you can see us really in the streets, you know, really at lectures, different states popping up at, you know, to support other people. My name don't even gotta be on the bill. You know, at the end of the day, when I came into this community as an entrepreneur minded. I participated in commerce, you know, because I had a clothing line, and I wanted to take the time that I was spending, because I was going to all of the lectures. So I learned how to do two things at once. That's learn and make money, you know, so it was a win-win for me. You know what I'm saying? I was putting the culture on people, and I was learning, and I was earning. It was like it was therapeutic, because it solved a lot of the issues that I had. Because when I was getting into the knowledge, I was having issues with how I was getting money. You know, I wanted to be clean. I wanted to be sucker free. I wanted to, you know, not put my freedom at risk. So being more into the culture, and remember, I rolled the dice because I trusted people in the culture to support me. Because at that time, this was like 07, 06, people wasn't really into buying black. That wasn't a word. That wasn't the move and whatnot. And people wasn't really into repping their culture, wearing it and stuff like that, proud. We're talking about 2006 and 7. This is before the rise of woke and the rise of, you know, these socio-political movements, and this sudden, you know, popularization or commercialization of consciousness that Dr. Sebi enjoyed in his latter years. You know what I mean? He began going viral because, you know, this whole movement was being commercialized. This whole movement was falling into popular culture. It was being mixed and merged, you know. But we come from a time before that it was even the modus operandi. So yeah, this is what it looked like when it's cut out completely. You know what I'm saying? So I'll show you the next step. But that's the weeding process. It's a tedious process. But the entrepreneur mind person that I am, you know, the vision that I have is a warehouse where we'll be running 100 of these. This is just one, right? This is the vinyl cutter. My goal is to run about 100 of them simultaneously, and to bring at-risk youth, homeless people, and people who are basically willing to work for a gig. A gig is, you know, it's a task. I might say, if you cut 100 of these, I'll give you $100. That's a gig. If you agree to that gig, then you are contracted to do the work, and then you get paid at the end of the gig, similar to what they do at Fiverr or what they do at People for Hire or Upwork. These are online portals where they're utilizing what is known as the gig economy, a new form of an economy. It's a new segment of the modern day economy, the gig economy. Basically, if I have a gig and you agree that you can carry out that gig or that task, then we have a deal. I shouldn't be doing this. You know what I'm talking about? There's people that are out here shaking cups and asking people to help them out. And there's people that are out here that are too proud to shake a cup. They don't want to ask nobody, but they sitting around playing Fortnite or trying to come up with some answers. And we're not trying, we're letting them know look, it's a way. Let's stop playing and get this bread. You know what I mean? Fill up these refrigerators, feed these babies and whatnot. Because one of the things that having these children showed me is that, you know, the legacy, that in order to leave a legacy, I got work to do. And you can't leave a legacy working a 9 to 5. And I don't want to offend anybody, but, and I'm not saying that you can't, because you definitely can, because legacy is not just built around your job and whatnot or your occupation. But if you're trying to leave a business or a startup or some stock or some bonds from a company that you own, then you know, then you gotta work. You gotta make big moves while you're here and while you got the energy and while you have the time, because time is something that you know, you cannot get back. Time is precious. Time is precious. You feel me? So, you know, a business like this, a clothing business inside of a market, remember we're inside of the woke market, right? And the woke market is valued at $44 billion, right? Let's just use one little niche. We could just say woke, because there's other markets, urban, you know, other markets, couture. Let's just say the woke market. Let's use that niche, 44 billion valuation. So if you successfully put together a clothing line and tap into 1% of that market, right, or 1% of that niche, you could tap into $44 million. And no, it's valued at $44 million, the woke marketplace, right? And I've gone on records by saying, well, if that's valued at 44 million, then consciousness, which is bigger than the woke, could be 44 billion, because it's more, the intellectual property is a lot more higher. The valuation of the intellectual property, case in point, of Dr. Sebi, he wouldn't be considered woke. He would be considered more of a conscious. And then his valuation from what he was doing with his intellectual property and the kind of information that he retained inside of his head, you can't put a price tag to that. You know? You can't put a price tag to that. So you could create a company in a small window of time, and then you can pass that company on to your children, or you can have an exit strategy in that company, sell it off, right? Sell your company off, and then pass something down to your children in the form of a trust, or in the form of some earnings, or in the form of some shares. You got options. You got options. So it's about paying attention to the time that you live in and benefit and profit, and having a 5 to 10 year plan to basically close out, because times don't last longer. Ages last about 10 years. So imagine if we were ready for the 90s when it came. Imagine if we were buying stocks in Moet, buying stocks in Cristal, buying stocks in these clothing brands, and we had an exit strategy, and we were buying stocks in these urban labels like the Rockawares and the Sean Johns and the Fat Farms, and we were following their stocks and whatnot, and we had a vested interest in these brands with a 10-year to a 5-year plan. Niggas would be in the fucking Hamptons right now chilling. Because when people caught on, right, buying Nike stock in the earlier days, when people buying Versace stock, when people caught on to what was going on, it was too late. Niggas was already cashing out. You feel me? So right now we're in the beginning of this new wave. We're in the beginning of this new epoch, or this new era, this woke era. And what I'm saying is, if you have a 10-year plan, you can start up a business, you can start up an entity, you can start up a LLC and have a health and wellness brand, right? Infopreneur brand, meaning that you monetize your information. You're an infopreneur, like an entrepreneur, but you're selling information. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna last forever. So have yourself a plan, have yourself a timeline. You feel me? Have some steps to take, and you'll be surprised on how much success that you can garner in the process. And you know, things might not stay. One idea might evolve into a whole nother idea, but at least you start somewhere. That's the key. You got to start somewhere. You just can't be sitting around the house thinking all day. You have to actually start. So this business will one day be sold, and my children will benefit off of those sales. I'm even starting a clothing line for both of them. You know, I'm gonna give my daughter one more year because I don't want to exploit her. She's 5, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I want her to understand the business a little bit more before I start putting her face all over the place and signing her name to shit that she might not necessarily understand what she's doing. That's how children get exploited, so I don't want to do that. I want to spend a year explaining her design, everything. I don't just want, you know, because it's easy to just put your child's face on some shit and sell it and be like, yeah, that's them. But I want her to really, you know, play a part in this whole thing. My little man as well. So yeah, there's an initiative that I started called the Facts Initiative. It stands for, it's an acronym, and it stands for food, right? Art, clothing, technology, and shelter. So this is just one component of it, the clothing component, but it's also a multi-billion-dollar market that we've only begun to scratch the surface of. You know what I'm saying? Because what Puff and them did was cool, but Puff and them don't got factories in Pakistan and stuff like that, in China. From what I know, they don't own no factories out there, and they don't even have no factories they could walk into, so it's still work to be done.
Talking about the importance of owning your own factories and being able to walk into them?
Yeah, so, you know, to have clothing lines is one thing, but to own the means of production, because production is the key to any kind of wealth building, because you have to be able to own the manufacturing process of your goods. You know what I mean? You have to be able to eliminate any kind of middlemen in that situation, and that way you're able to capitalize off of your volume. That way you're able to capitalize off of your bottom line. That way you're able to capitalize off of just your sheer productivity. Because keep in mind, if I own a factory, right, then I could basically have my machines running 24 hours a day, and I could create inventory, an unlimited amount, which will inevitably increase my bottom line, because it's in the inventory, not only, but definitely a part of, it's in the inventory. That's where your money is. In street terms, if I got one bird versus if I could cook up 100 birds, who's gonna come out on the top? The person that could come up with 100. So the whole aspect of that overseas, you know, connect, I call it the Alibaba effect, where you're able to now connect with manufacturers who are basically cutting out the middleman. The middleman would be your resellers and stuff like that. You're able to cut out the middleman. You go right to the source. You go right to the factory. You buy into a factory where they're spinning cotton and making actual shirts and whatnot. You get ownership and stake in those companies. So then you lower the actual cost of making the initial item. The initial item is not the foil, it's the shirt. This is what matters the most. Okay? This is what matters the most. This is the accentuation. This is what matters the most, the cotton. So let's say that you could turn a $2 t-shirt into now you're getting it for a quarter. Now this is how you get into your millions or your billions. Now you won, because now you could get 100 dozen shirts at a quarter each and put on a design that could magically transform a quarter shirt into a $40 shirt, into an $80 shirt, or to a $100 shirt, just like that. You could cook that up. So when you when you sell enough of them in inventory, right? And remember, you're making your machines are nonstop. You're paying people who are, basically looking for work, right? You're hiring people for gigs because they need the work. So boom, you're making hundreds of shirts, and because one of the rules of clothing is make it and it will sell. I don't know too many people that are just sitting on some hot shit. If it's hot and you make enough of it, it's gonna sell. So that's the key to that. The machines make the money. The machines make the volume. The machines are the key to your production, to increasing your overhead. I mean, not your overhead, your bottom line. So I would rather spend $100,000 on a machine before I would a car. I would get a hoopty and I would put that 100 racks on one of these production machines. There's a show called How It's Made. I love it. It's on, comes on cable. And if you spend 100 racks on one of these machines, and I'm talking about, it's all kind of, like I said, food, art, clothing, technology, shelter. So in food, there's certain machines that you could buy right now. Certain kind of tractors, certain kind of, horticulture machines. You could get a growth operation going on and grow hemp and whatnot. Art, there's all kind of machines that you could do. You could invest in 4K cameras. You could invest in a studio because film is art, right? You can invest in a music studio because music is art.
I need one.
Yeah.
Can I get one?
Yeah, of course. Whenever you're ready.
I'm next.
All right.
How much? Do the editing too?
Yeah. Spinning, you got drones, you have green screen, you have camera. This is 100 racks. This is the same amount of money that people are telling me and you that we need to go out and spend money on in order to pull up and floss, because there's no flossing doesn't appreciate and value. Nobody can show me the chart. I mean, flossing does help. It's marketing. It's marketing and promotions, but they call it flossing and whatnot. But what are you marketing and promoting? Are you hopping out of a Phantom wearing your own chinchilla, your own clothing line? Is this your own boots? Is that your own diamonds? Because then it would make sense, because then you're flossing to sell a product that you're tied into. Are you an affiliate of Gucci? Are you an affiliate of any of these foreign brands? I don't know of any affiliate programs in luxury couture. You know what I'm talking about? Niggas is not like, yo, use my promo code when you buy the Maybach. So they say people are hustling backwards. Well, they marketing backwards too. You know what I mean? Because if you don't believe in yourself, then nobody else will. So any of these quote unquote celebrities who consider themselves stars and whatnot, they could come out with their own shit, but you gotta believe in yourself. I believe in myself. I came out with my own, and I got tired of giving Ralph Lauren all of the credit and blowing him up. And my people's, we catching cases and whatnot, so all we doing is paying for lawyers while Ralph Lauren is getting rich. And dudes is doing time for stealing that shit. You know what I'm saying? So we was hustling backwards. But now, when you hop out and you got your shit on and you promoting what you doing and it's your brand and you proud to say it, you don't gotta, you don't have to say some weird Italian name or whatnot. You're just speaking about what you doing. It's a freedom in that. You know what I'm saying? And it's a reward in that down the line, because Ralph Lauren started out in basements like this. You feel me? He didn't start out as a billionaire. He didn't start out with everybody wearing this shit. He started out and he was struggling and he kept moving. He was consistent. You feel me? He was consistent and it paid off in the long run. So Al is right here. Al in 2006, I didn't know what silk screening was. I didn't know, I just heard about it. Kev, this company here was at a different location. He recommended Al. Al was right there on Gun Hill in the South Bronx. You feel me? The spot Al was at, it looked like after you would pay for your stuff, you go outside and they would rob you. Yo, let me talk to you real quick. That's where Al was at. You know what I'm saying? But he been doing this thing for, come on through. He been doing this thing for a long time. You know what I mean? He's been promoting independence. He's been promoting, you know, bringing ideas into fruition and whatnot. He's been promoting ready to wear, streetwear by, you know, being your own designer for ever since I known him, right?
That's official.
That is, yeah, that is.
From the bottom.
Real talk. So, you know, it's just a process, you know what I'm saying? And the process that we're involved in is foundation building. You know what I mean? Like we're carrying a lot of weight for those who are gonna come behind us, and this shit is gonna be automated. It's gonna be easy, but we'll do the heavy lifting. You know what I mean? Because of course this is not an easy process. You know, working for yourself or being your own boss or believing in your own or building up your own brands. You know, it took me mad years to get where I'm at. You dig? You know, and there's so much more to go. There's so much more to go. But yeah, going back to what I was saying about investing wisely, where people they're not utilizing their expendable income in a wise way. So here it is, they encourage you to blow your money and whatnot, blow your shit fast. But like I said, if you invested $100,000 on art, or something that had an art initiate, artistic goal at mind, you would be able to profit off of your investment. You will see a return on your investment. Clothing, if you spend $100,000 into manufacturing, dealing with your clothing, you will see a return on investment. Technology, if you dropped 100 racks on technology, I could buy the Oculus Rift, but then I could also buy the Oculus Rift developer pack. Then I could also buy all of the equipment that it takes to make my own virtual reality shit. You feel me? Then I could buy the 4K camera, the 360 camera, all of these things, the green screen suit. You know what I mean? Book myself into a place where I could basically hook myself up to a fucking wire and go flying through shit, talking crazy and whatnot. Now I got all of this footage, all of this content that I can monetize. Shelter, if I drop 100 racks dealing with shelter, hempcrete, hemp concrete, earth ships and whatnot, monolithic domes. I could build out 5 monolithic domes at $20,000, prefab homes. You know what I'm saying? They got the prefab homes where they're building out these containers and whatnot. You feel me? Vertical farms and whatnot. They got people building out vertical farms inside of these prefab houses, and they running them like growth houses. You know what I mean? Growing moringa, growing superfoods, spirulina, chlorella. You feel me? Growing soursop. You know, a lot of the stuff that's beneficial to health and wellness. So don't talk to me about no car. You feel me? Don't talk to me about no drip. Don't talk to me about bust down watches. Like, that's backwards. All of that shit, you know, that comes later on down the line. That's almost like you get that at a bargain. You could get that for free for doing what you do. You know, when you win an award and they gave you a free Richard Mille and whatnot, or a free Audemars because of your outstanding work, I get the Rolex on that merit, but I'm not gonna spend that 100 on non-intangibles. So the network that we're building, then it's an interesting network because it's an online learning community. One, it's a social media platform. Two, you know what I'm saying? It's a membership. Three, meaning that we're part of a membership. We're a network. So people within the network, you got some people that are into horticulture. You got some people that are into cryptocurrency. You got some people that are curators of the culture. You got some people that are creatives. You got some people that are clothing designers, graphic designers, illustrators. But what my thing is, and this is all online community and real life community. So my whole thing is, if we could come together and bring these conventions the same way that they have the magic show and all of these other conventions in Vegas. They got the Bronner's Brothers Hair Convention. Well, we need to have the Facts Initiatives convention and whatnot, the Facts Convention. I just went to We Buy Black Convention in Atlanta. It was powerful and whatnot. This is the movement that I'm talking about. These are the solutions that I'm aiming at. This is the, shelter. Dr. Sebi's, the Usha Healing Village. You understand? He came on our show. Dr. Sebi came on our show years ago and talked about Dembali. You know what I mean? He was very adamant about that. So this is what I'm talking about. I don't know what nobody else is into, but we need manufacturing ASAP. Don't talk to me about China being in Africa. Tell me what China wants to get access to their factories. Or what factory is China building in Africa that we could go and start getting business done? You know what I mean? Because while Negroes are complaining, the world is turning. Like, business is being done on large scales. Consumers are still buying shit, right? There's still lines outside for Jordans. Like, nothing is stopping. So I'm not with slowing down to complain. I'm with speeding up to disrupt and to make things happen. You know what I'm saying? And it is, I mean, it's been happening for years, but we're coming into this 2020 cycle, and it's just time to speed it up. It's time to step it up on levels that have never been seen before. But I'm gonna show the family what we got to offer, and we're gonna take it from there. We're gonna take it from there, It's gonna speak for itself, Yeah, and Haiti, they're rioting in Haiti right now. Salute to everybody that's out there standing up. But Haiti is they have manufacturing going down in Haiti real big that people should pay attention to. All right, real quick. This didn't cut. This little area right there. You want a razor? Oh, you got a razor? All right. You don't think this should be higher? Right under the pocket?
Nah, people like it. Everyone who passes by loves it.
No, I know, it's dope. I just think maybe under the pocket for the next one, I should do it.
You're right.
Cause a hand in the pocket. And you said hit it real quick?
Yeah, a second.
Okay.
But then you have to use Teflon.
Teflon, of course. Yeah. This is one of the new pieces for the spring line. You know what I'm talking about? Inspired by Polo. You know, I got my low life days still with me. But I'm like, if they're gonna pull out the retro shit and bring it back, the 90s is here, so we're gonna bring it back too. You know. Thank you. Can I get a half of black glitter circles?
Black glitter is the circle.
Yeah, just how many fit on this? 3?
2.
It was 2 then.
2 small ones, 2 big ones.
Okay.
2 small ones or 2 big ones?
2 big ones. It's a thin cut that's being done. And then once you get it, you got it. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. Once you get it, you got it. Yeah, so when our people get back to manufacturing, black people I'm speaking about in particular, once we get back into manufacturing, we won't have to look for jobs anymore. Once we get back to manufacturing, we won't have to be at the beck and call of anybody who doesn't like us, any race. We don't have to wait for legislators and legislation, and we don't have to wait for this bill and that bill and all of this stupid stuff that make people who look like us look real subservient and weak in the eyes of people who come over here and make it happen. You know what I mean? They just make it happen because what they have is they have a community, right, which is an economic base, and they have a plan, you know what I mean? And they have a commitment amongst that community that, yo, when we get over there, we're not buying from nobody else but us. Because in order to build up our wealth, or in order to build up our savings and stuff like that, then we got to support each other. All of us wear underwear? Well, shit, we not buying underwear from nobody that don't look like us. How about that? You know what I mean? All of us drink milk. Well, goddamn it, we gonna buy the milk from our own people. You know what I mean? Like they got the African meat markets and whatnot. They get they meat from right there. They're not waiting for. They're not going to the Italian butchery. They're going to their own. And it's not being selfish. It's just that's how you come to America or any other place for that matter and build up your economic base. It's with the people and the needs of the people. So you manufacture products that are right, the ones that whatchamacallit, you go ahead and you get a commitment from the people in your tribe or the people in your community and whatnot that are basically going to benefit off of off of the fact that y'all are out here riding for each other. And that's when you see growth take place. So that's going to be, we're going to have to commit to being there for each other and to build for each other without, like I said, doing the simple things, the necessities. You know what I mean? Just the necessities. So yeah. They got machines out here you can make underwear with. They got machines out here you can make toilet paper with. The whole movement, We Buy Black. We Buy Black started with black toilet paper and a black-owned toothbrush company and a black-owned charger company. And that's what they began selling on their sites. Toothbrush and toilet paper and also detergent. They had a company that was black-owned that had detergent. And that's how they built the basis of their multi-million-dollar company right now. There's basically a marketplace and a home to hundreds of small black businesses. You feel me? The tangibles, they went in and dealt with the tangibles. Detergent. You don't gotta be revolutionary minded to be like, yo, when I buy my detergent, I'm gonna buy it from some people that look like me. You feel me? Especially the amount of money that they charge the Negroes for Tide and whatnot. It's just a commitment. It's just a commitment. You know what I'm saying? Babe, I'm gonna call you right back.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm gonna call you right back. I'm at Cavs.
Oh, all right.
All right.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Grow your own food. Wear your own clothing. Buy your own art. Add valuation to your own people and your own teachers and your own authors. You know, support your own creators, your own designers. You know what I mean? Your own handyman, people with skill sets, do that. You know, and it don't gotta be the whole, every black person in America. It don't have to be that. It could be 100 people. You feel me? It don't gotta be no big group of people. It could start with a small group. Look at the concept that the church uses. They don't have a lot of people. They just have a handful of people. But those handful of people are locked in. You know what I mean? And they support everything that the church does and what the church is basically pushing. This is why I celebrate Garvey. That's what he did. So yeah, this is all, you know, it's like drugs, man. I guess you gotta talk like that for niggas to understand, but these are all ways to just to live better and to be a better provider. You know what I mean? Tapping into, we don't gotta recreate the wheel. You know what I'm saying? Stop wearing Gucci. Stop wearing all of them Fugazi brands and wear your own shit. Wear the brands that people that you know. Nigga, you don't know Ralph Lauren. You never broke bread with that. You know what I mean? You don't know Sassoon. You know what I'm saying? You know who these people are. They wouldn't even, they would clutch their pearls in your presence. So do the impossible and get with your own. Support your own, represent, be a brand ambassador for your own, wear that shit proudly. You know what I'm saying? The same way they called Kanai and them when they came up back in the days. His people, the way the LL rep FUBU. Shit. cause I'm past the point of protesting and niggas acting like fake Negro outrage when they get dissed and whatnot by these, pro-Roman designer brands who they know don't like them. You can't even walk around their store freely with your balls out, but you think that they like you. Cause they take your money with a smile. And sometimes they don't even take your money with it. I know some stores where they wouldn't even touch niggas' hands when they was giving them the money. But you supposed to be saying something with your brands. Negroes love a brand because they're branded as it is. You know what I'm saying? The term Negro and black, that's a brand. You know what I mean? It's some shit that somebody else came up with. So it's deeper than rap. It's deeper than what people even try to attribute it to it. They don't know how tied into the brands that they are. You know what I mean? That they'd rather kill another man for saying don't wear some shit than they would to kill the person who disrespected them. And I'm talking about literally. I'm not talking about figuratively. I mean, I'm talking figuratively and not literally, for the record. We don't need those federal visits, you know what I'm saying? James Comey and them niggas coming to my door. I don't need that. I don't need Robert Mueller on my ass. Cause he was the one who came up. He's the one who came up with the black identity extremists. The same person who's investigating Trump for the collusion. He's the one who drew up black identity extremists, Robert Mueller. You know what I mean? Black people waiting for Robert Mueller to save them, but he came up with COINTELPRO 2.0 to stop a lot of your thought leaders and to criminalize the rise of black messianic consciousness, not black messianic consciousness. It's different than niggas standing on a soapbox. Messianic consciousness is, it's a power. It ain't just information. It's somebody coming with a messianic force. It's different. You know what I'm saying? It's different. You got people that are scholars out here, but then you got messiah types. People who have that. They got that neo factor. You know what I mean? They make people want to pick shit up and do things just by them saying it. They have the power to spark revolutions. You know what I mean? That's who Robert Mueller. That's who the peoples is. That's who they watching. J. Edgar Hoover set it off, and the shit never stopped. It never stopped. Fat Jaw. Yes, rude boy. Yes, Wagwan. This is a legend in Jamaica right here. This is Fat Jaw from the sound system Jack Ruby, and he made a cameo in the movie that we shot. We shot a short film, episode 1. Fat Jaw.
Yes, my brother.
Yes, big dog. That's a big dog there. Nah, yes, big dog. You know what I mean? As you can see, this whole down here is very brothers from the islands, the continent. It's a diasporic experience. I don't know how a lot of black people who look like me, how they fare when it comes to that, because some people have complaints that they can't get shit moving, but I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. I love my brothers and sisters from every corner of the earth. I see the family ties in us all. So.
Who designed that?
Who designed what?
What you're feeling?
Oh, this is the Yeezy design, matter of fact. This was designed by people at Yeezy. I remember coming across this years ago, and I was like, wait, what? You know what I mean? That was when Kanye came out rocking the big Hey Ru piece. And then when the Yeezys dropped, this design was on the advertising, and it was on the tongue. So, you know, I had to go and rescue that shit because it was being used wrong. Yeah, we've been pushing that ever since. Just tweaked it a little bit, you know. But this is Horus, this is Heru. You know.
AKA Jesus.
Yeah.
Heavy lift.
What's good, Gray? All right. Let's see.
Please leave your message for
What kind of scissors are those? Can you take that down, please?
He never replied. You don't have Gray?
These are just like handhelds.
I know my flash out, right? I got home, I was like,
Jeepers creepers. You got creepers. Yeah, this is the house of. Oh shit. This is like the house of vinyls. You know what I'm saying? Always different, you know what I mean? Different roles and whatnot. All of this is money. That's all you need. This is all bread. Like, that's how you gotta see it. You dig what I'm saying? The concept is very easy to understand. Like, we put in images on cotton, and we're turning the value of that cotton, we're upgrading the value of that cotton from a few dollars into a lot more, right? That's not difficult. You put something on a $2 piece of cotton and turn it into $40, you cooking. You know what I mean? It's a simple concept. You know what I'm saying? Then if you do that 10 times, you're really cooking. If you do it 100 times, you're cooking. If you do it 1,000 times, nigga, you in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you're doing that shit that the young boys talk about, whipping the work. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're gonna take these simple formulas to places around the world, not just America. We're gonna go across a pond in other places, and we're gonna empower. We're not here to save a soul, because that's a decision that you make. Remember, it's our willpower to put us in this situation. And it's gonna be our willpower that's gonna take us out of this situation. Niggas lost the will to fucking live, you know what I mean? Niggas' will was weak. That's the only explanation that I could see for a lot of shit that takes place in our reality. Niggas lost their will. So in order to get back up, you gotta get your will up. You know what I mean? You gotta get your will together. Jeepers creepers. Peaches. Peeps. 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 Oh, the peeps. Got the couture. You know what I'm saying? Got the couture popping. This is some pieces that we got. Alright. Look. Made in China. I'm gonna put some designs on this. You'll see it with the embroidery by next week. I'm gonna have some embroidery on this by next week. You know what I'm talking about? Not talking. It's a bodysuit for the ladies.
Yo, Aaron!
Oh, never mind. Can you call it? Never mind.
Are you in front? Number 2. Yeah.
Well, go on. All right. We're good in Clarendon and St. Elizabeth in the yard. One of the good things about America is, you know, you could build a rapport with your brothers and sisters from around the world, and then you wind up being good from where they from, because they're gonna put in that word, and they word mean a lot in their hometown, same way that your word mean a lot in your hometown. You feel me? So always be mindful of that. Write me up, Aaron.
How many friends?
Only like 5. I ain't even gonna do a lot. If the bill too high, we gonna have to run. You heard? Get the camera ready. Yeah, shit. You might see me have to boot gang a nigga in real life. I might have to boot gang in real time out this bitch. Let's just be like, forgive me for boot ganging my niggas, but I can't do this. I got it. I got it. Yeah. Jeepers creepers. The lizard got features. Check this out. Jeepers creepers. The gator's got Jesus. This is foil. So this is part of my workshop series as well, where we take our show on the road to black areas like community centers and whatnot, or workshops, you know, teaching young children, teenagers and whatnot, basically how to design, how to make their own clothing and shit, you know what I mean? Because until I saw it, I didn't know what the hell was going on. Like, I was like always curious, but I didn't know the process. Once I saw the process, it gave me the wherewithal to do it my own. Because one thing about our people, and just people in general, like if we don't understand some shit, we get discouraged and we don't think that we could do it ourselves, right? We always want somebody else to do it for us. So that's why.
Sorry. For that question. You got an XL hoodie that I can borrow to give it back.
Yeah. Yeah. Go in that bag that I got. Oh, let me go in there in a minute. So, you know, the key to this thing, like I said, is production. But before production, yeah. What happened? I'm waiting for my receipt. But before that, it's about knowing what it is that you're doing, the knowledge, you know what I mean? So. All right, what's good?
I didn't want to interrupt you while you're doing your videos.
Yeah.
Still on it?
Yeah.
All right, what's going on?
Chilling, man, how you?
All right.
All right. See, I put that cut on it. Yeah, put that cut on that dope. See how it came back? It came back. You see how we cooking? You know, that's the terminology that they understand sometimes. You know what I mean? You gotta talk lingo. Niggas understand the lingo. But if that's what it takes. You wrote it up?
Yeah, I wrote it up.
Where's it at? Upstairs? Right there? Yeah, I'm gonna run upstairs. We're gonna busy with the snakes.
You have a large order?
Yeah. $50. You know what I'm talking about? No, 60. Pardon me.
Hold on, what happened?
125. We gotta go to 30 minutes. Thank you.
And I hate to see my
Yeah, so that's it for right now. You know, it's been fun while it lasted. We gotta go, got a fight to catch at the Barclays. We're gonna get up with one of the OGs, Big Teach, who's very instrumental in what's being done right now, because he was the brother who brought me to the magic show in Las Vegas. And that's where I learned about making clothes and whatnot and got me started on this mission. This was in 2003. And he also brought me to Miami to work with Pitbull as a stylist. So it was that behind the scenes type of exposure that let me see, you know, the manufacturing aspect. I didn't know the first thing about any of this before. It was actually a secret that a lot of people were holding on to. They wouldn't let you know the process. Understandably, I know why, but you know. What's good? Come through. Come on, come on, come on. What's good? Yes, yes. So look, we have.
Apologies, but I ran into my.
Nah. You good? We got a red back, or we got the black back. And then it goes with the gold. Which would you rather? And I got. Let me show you the white sweatshirt.
Like me, man, cooking in the lab.
That's right.
That's
That's
how I
right.
do it too.
That's right. You heard her? Cook it in the lab. You understand?
So you can give birth to the proper.
To division. Look at this too. Real neat.
Yeah, but it's tough.
Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah, that's tough there. All right, Star.
Good night.
Good night. Do you wanna this would be dope. A red background with the gold on the front, with this on the front,
Yeah.
and like a red, black, and green my eye.
All right.
Eating sugar?
Yeah, you can do it. Black.
Yeah.
You say you gonna do this today? No, so you gonna do this today? You said.
Tomorrow. Or I could do black on black. That black and gold on black.
Yeah, you can do it. What you just said. That's
Okay. All right.
fine. You know, that's fine.
Yeah, that would be a one-on-one. And what was the other color? It was gray, black, and white.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, if you want to go with the white sweatshirt, that's right now. That's available. You can walk away with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? White XL factory. Excuse me. Don't get sprayed. You might not be the same afterwards.
People ask for discounts, don't see. They see the craftsmanship that goes into it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they don't know. And sometimes I don't expect them to know. Because it's not what they do. You know what I mean? People only know what they do. They know what they're used to. Or what they've been exposed to. So, you know. Good night.
Good night, Donovan.
Be safe.
Hey.
Later, King. Oh yeah, nah. It's so right on time. Could be an ADOS. Wearing that good coat of arms. This is the windbreaker. Yeah. That's a new joint. Coming soon. There you go. Yep. That looks dope in the in the sun when it's going off. That shit is special. Yes, indeed.
Got like a month, so pretty much weird. That's why I was trying to, because I don't be at, you know what I'm saying?
Not really.
All the events, I'm kind
Yo,
of
I was looking at old pictures. I was looking at old pictures. I had a hoodie on Memorial Day, the end of May. Nah, I'm dead ass at the festival. So when we say it's gonna get warm, I know what you're saying, but sometimes you gotta factor in. Look, just whether the poles are shifted, shit different. It ain't like it used to be, so it's hoodie season damn near all year round.
pretty much,
You don't know.
I mean, it doesn't put it warm, so like, hey, anyway.
End of May. End of May. I remember it used to be around Easter the shit got warm. But it ain't like that no more. Huh? Bruh, it snowed in Vegas, it snowed in Hawaii. Shit different. It snowed in Hawaii. You know what I mean? Vegas thing, I was like, but Hawaii, bro, that's some different shit. That is some different shiznit.
What's the key what I gave you? Say lock.
Yeah. Yeah, stay tuned. We got more shit coming. We're just cooking. Got more in the womb. We finna give birth to some ideas. You know?
That's how you do it, man. That's how I do it too, man. You gotta kind of from all eyes and all the
Hell yeah.
your mind, your thoughts, so you can.
You could think your own thoughts.
Yeah.
Shit, prior to that, motherfucker was thinking of, listening to all of the wrong things. You're not thinking creatively. You might be thinking destructively on how to destroy. So I'm back in my creative bag. Yeah. We'll go up here on top. Oh yeah. Whew, yeah. This camo. I call that the G.I. Joe camo. That's the classic camouflage. The shit changed. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm already salivating. Definitely.
Yeah, that one is it, bro.
Having on that frequency. Long one.
Next lap.
More of these than the new.
I got it right there. You holding it. That's your size. Yeah, 60 for the hoodie, 60 for the sweatshirt, and that one is 60 as well. The glitters.
These caddy spot. Two of them are passing over here that was new.
Oh yeah, Jamaican store. My brother owned that.
801.
801?
That's the time they said we're gonna get there.
Okay.
Oh, that's hard.
Reach out and turn on the light.
Okay. Yeah, right in the back. We gotta go, hurry up. That's another perk. You got your own clothing.
Bro, you gonna be catching.
Yeah, you could. You don't gotta run out and blow your bread on some new shit. You just pop a tag, cause this is an expense. You know what I'm saying? Of just me promoting and doing business. If I'm at the Barclays, you know what I mean? I'm visible. You already know. You already know. I got you.
The combinations is crazy.
Yeah. This nigga named Mr. John Witherspoon told me how to coordinate. Yeah, that my elder John Witherspoon taught nigga how to coordinate. So, you take advantage of that. I promise you, that wasn't a lot of cooking. That was a very small cooking session.
Damn.
Nah, it wasn't a lot. Usually, shit is stacked up on one of these boxes. But yeah, man, you know, we did what we had to do up in here. But the next stop, Barclays Center. Fight night, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Let's get it in. BK. Book on. Come on. Yeah, yeah.